Hold a ripe fig in your hand. It feels heavy, soft, almost too soft. The skin is deep purple-green, sometimes split open at the bottom from its own ripeness. Cut it in half, and the inside is one of the strangest sights in the plant kingdom. A cavity filled with hundreds of tiny seeds, threaded together by pink-red filaments that look almost alive. What you are looking at is not a fruit in the normal sense. It is an inverted garden of flowers. Each of those tiny seed-like grains is the remnant of a complete flower that bloomed inside the fig, sealed off from the outside world. Botanically, this structure is called a syconium, and it is unique among edible plants. In the next 7 minutes, we are going to take it apart and find calcium, potassium, soluble fiber, the enzyme Ficin, a dense load of polyphenols, and one of the oldest cultivated fruits in human history, 11,000 years old, predating wheat. This is not just a fruit, this is a hidden ecosystem. Botanically, the fig is not a fruit. It is a syconium, a hollow, fleshy receptacle that contains the actual flowers and seeds on its inner surface. Cut a fig open, and what you are seeing is the inside-out version of any other flowering plant. The pink-red filaments are the styles and remnants of hundreds of individual female flowers. The tiny, crunchy granules are the true fruits, each one a single-seeded druplet. The soft, sweet flesh you taste is the receptacle that held all those flowers. At the bottom of every fig is a small opening called the ostiole, which is how a specialized fig wasp historically entered to pollinate the flowers. Most modern commercial figs, the common fig variety, are parthenocarpic and do not require pollination. The structure remains. The biology has been simplified. The inverted garden is preserved. Figs are unusual among fruits for their mineral density. 100 grams of fresh figs delivers about 35 milligrams of calcium, but the dried figs that most people actually consume deliver around 160 milligrams per 100 grams, comparable to a small glass of milk. That makes figs one of the most calcium-rich plant foods readily available. They are also exceptionally high in potassium, around 230 milligrams per 100 grams fresh, supporting blood pressure regulation, muscle function, and fluid balance. Add magnesium, iron, copper, manganese, and a meaningful dose of vitamin K, and the fig functions less like a sugar source and more like a mineral concentrate. In cultures across the Mediterranean and Middle East, dried figs have been a staple winter food for thousands of years, specifically because of this density.
Inside the fig is an enzyme called Ficin, a proteolytic enzyme that breaks peptide bonds in proteins. Ficin is the reason that eating too many fresh figs can leave a tingling, slightly raw feeling on the lips and tongue. The enzyme is literally beginning to digest the proteins in your skin. In traditional cuisines, Ficin has been used for centuries as a meat tenderizer. Wrapping tough cuts of meat in fig leaves or fig sap softens the connective tissue. In medicine, Ficin has been studied as a digestive aid, an anti-parasitic agent against intestinal worms, and as a wound-healing enzyme. The latex sap of the fig tree contains the highest concentration. Cooking or drying figs destroys most of the enzyme, which is why dried figs do not produce the same mouth-tingling effect. The raw, fresh fig is the only place you encounter it. A fresh fig contains roughly 3 grams of fiber per 100 grams, and the seeds add a meaningful, insoluble component. Dried figs concentrate that fiber dramatically, about 10 grams per 100 grams, making them one of the highest fiber dried fruits available. Most of that fiber is soluble in the form of pectins and gums, which is why figs have been used as a natural laxative for as long as written records exist. The soluble fiber forms a gel in the gut, slows gastric emptying, and feeds the bacteria of the colon. The fiber also moderates the glycemic response. Despite their sweetness, fresh figs sit around a glycemic index of 50, and the high-fiber, high-mineral matrix gives a steadier release of sugar than the sugar content alone would suggest. Dried figs, eaten in moderation, behave similarly thanks to that same fiber-mineral packaging. The deep purple-red color of a ripe fig is not decoration, it is a chemical signature. Figs contain a rich load of anthocyanins, particularly cyanidin-3 rutinoside, concentrated in the skin and just beneath it. They also carry hydroxycinnamasic acids, flavonols like quercetin, and proanthocyanidins. The darker the variety, the higher the polyphenol load. Black Mission and brown turkey figs significantly outperform pale Calamirna or Cadota varieties on total antioxidant capacity. Studies have shown that fig polyphenols inhibit oxidative damage to LDL cholesterol, support endothelial function in blood vessels, and modulate inflammatory pathways. The pigments that make a fig beautiful are the same pigments that make it medicinal. The skin is where the chemistry lives.
Fresh figs are seasonal, fragile, and short-lived. Picked ripe, they last only a few days. Most of the fig consumed worldwide is dried, and the drying process changes the fruit significantly. Sugars and minerals concentrate by a factor of 3 to 4. Fiber concentrates. Calcium and potassium concentrate.
Vitamin C is largely lost in drying. The enzyme Ficin is destroyed. Some polyphenols are preserved, some degraded. The result is a denser, sweeter, more shelf-stable version of the fruit that behaves nutritionally more like a mineral supplement than a fresh fruit. Black mission figs carry the highest polyphenol load. Smyrna figs from Turkey are pollinated by the fig wasp and tend to carry the seeds and the most complex flavor. Calimyrna is the same variety grown in California. Choose dark figs, eat the skin, and you capture the chemistry. So what do you actually get when you eat a fig? You get one of the most calcium-rich plant foods on Earth. You get potassium, magnesium, iron, copper, and vitamin K. You get pectin-class soluble fiber that has been used as a digestive aid for 11,000 years. You get anthocyanins and proanthocyanins concentrated in the skin. You get a fruit that, in its raw form, contains an actual proteolytic enzyme, Ficin, that interacts with biology in measurable ways. And you get the strangest anatomy in the produce aisle. Hundreds of inverted flowers sealed inside a soft purple receptacle, an inside-out botanical universe you can hold in your hand. The fig is one of the oldest cultivated fruits in human history. It earned that place. Open it, reveal it, and eat the hidden garden.